At 11 o'clock, a lawsuit against a Christian broadcaster based in South Charlotte. A former employee who was fired is accusing the company of failing to pay her what she was promised and forcing her to work overtime without extra pay. Bria Bell is live tonight after talking with this woman who says she is disappointed in a faith-based organization that she claims, Bria, is not following the law. So what is she suing for?
Well, Molly, Carmen McGrath says she was constantly clocking overtime hours at the Christian Research Institute without pay for those hours. She says she begged her bosses for 3 years to make it right, and she says tonight they fired her as retaliation.
It's not legal what's going on. I said, I feel that I'm being taken advantage of. I feel that I was misled.
Carmen McGrath says her bosses at the Christian Research Institute promised she'd be paid as an executive assistant. The company's website says it helps equip Christians worldwide with information to encourage them in their faith and intelligently represent their Christian faith to others. Carmen thought the job was a perfect fit.
Most of all, because it was a Christian company.
But shortly after starting, she says she noticed her paycheck not adding up. Her lawsuit, filed earlier this month, claims Carmen's bosses were paying her $9,000 less than what was originally agreed upon. She says she scheduled a meeting with one of her managers to try and rectify things.
And he said, actually, I was a little nervous about this, but I got to tell you that I won't be able to pay you what we said we were going to pay you.
She says her bosses ended that conversation by saying he'd bump up her pay to what was promised by the end of the year. That was in 2016.
You know, they continue to tell me it's coming, we're going to give it to you, and you're worth this.
Carmen says she held on, and even when 2017 rolled around, nothing changed. Yet the lawsuit says her bosses with the Christian Research Institute continued to promise the funds would come. She says she believed them, but in the meantime, some of her own bills couldn't be paid.
That we could not make the ends meet. Okay? And maybe one thing got shut off, or the other got shut off. Or maybe I was late on this and late on that.
To make matters worse, she says she was clocking in sometimes 60 hours a week and working on her scheduled off days. But the lawsuit states she was listed as an exempt employee and couldn't be paid for overtime. On top of that, the lawsuit states she was using her personal car to run errands for bosses and performing housekeeping duties for the office.
I basically was a clerical person. You know, a gopher.
Meanwhile, the organization's tax filings show her bosses were getting six-figure salaries. In November of 2018, with still no change to her paychecks and years of broken promises, Carmen says she was fired from her job. The lawsuit claims she was fired as retaliation for complaining about her lack of pay.
And I didn't expect that.
Carmen says she hates that it's come down to this, but just wants what she says she has rightfully earned.
It's kind of like you're standing there and someone comes and hits you with a 2x4 and you don't expect it or whatever. I'm just, for lack of a better thing to say.
I reached out to an attorney representing the Christian Research Institute. The attorney picked up my phone call and acknowledged that he does represent the company, but said he would not offer a comment on any pending litigation. Live in Charlotte, Bria Bell, WBTV, on your side.